What's going on, guys? My name is Aldeniro and welcome to episode 120, I think, of my FIFA 15 career mode. We're with Manchester United and we're starting this episode off with the FA Cup final, a trip back to Wembley to take on Arsenal, where we actually defeated them on penalties 2 years ago when we were with Leicester City at the very start of the season in the Community Shield. This time it's the FA Cup, a trophy that I've actually never won in career mode as far as I know. I don't think I won it at all in FIFA 14, not with Everton, not with Aston Villa, and I definitely didn't win it in FIFA 13 with Leicester City. So this is a first for me as far as I'm aware, and we're taking on Arsenal, who we have developed quite the rivalry with over time. Obviously, we played them on the first game as Manchester United boss. We beat them 1-0. We played them in the Capital One Cup, where they dragged us into extra time and scored a last-minute winner to knock us out of the cup. And we beat them quite recently in a game where they dominated possession largely, and we got kind of lucky in the last few minutes to win 2-0. We almost scored in the 7th minute of this game with Hector Villalba's shot being parried off the line by the goalkeeper. But in the 12th minute, the ball came through to Villalba once more, who has a look up and finds Memphis Depay unmarked in the middle. But Szczesny got out and managed to save it just before the shot could be taken properly, and Cazorla plays a free kick short to Edin Dzeko in the 15th minute, whose strike hits off the crossbar. I want to say as well at the start of this episode, if you guys have enjoyed any bit of this career mode so far and you wouldn't mind leaving a like on the video, that would be awesome, because this is the final episode of this season overall. So I don't know when the next season will be uploaded or anything like that. I might take a short break, maybe of just a couple of days, because I'm a little bit burned out with career mode at the moment, to be quite honest with you. Like, playing it relentlessly on Legendary and finding it to be quite samey overall has just sort of worn me out a little bit. But Memphis Depay comes tearing it down the touchline in the 30th minute. He plays it in towards Villalba, whose strike gets saved, and Kieran Gibbs is there with the clearance from the resulting throw-in. The ball comes to Ander Herrera, who does pretty well to take it around Aaron Ramsey and get into enough space to have an option to pass it to Chalobah, who looks up and finds Villalba on the edge of the box, who goes for the finesse shot, which I have been trying a lot more of since I scored that really nice goal with Wayne Rooney. Then we come into the second half looking to build upon the momentum that we created in the first half with endless amounts of chances really, and Villalba comes forward in the 47th minute. He goes for the finesse shot this time and sees it go just wide of Szczesny's post. He was very lucky to not concede there, because that is the type of shot that I've been trying a little bit more, and that one was just inches away from creeping into that corner. But we come up to almost the final 10 minutes of the game with Hector Villalba on the ball once more, as he runs at Zelalem in the Arsenal midfield and gets into a decent position, but sees his strike go wide, not even managing to work the goalkeeper at this point. But the final 5 minutes of the game were beckoning, and Arsenal came forward this time with Alexis Sanchez looking for Kieran Gibbs at the far post. Arsenal lose possession in the Manchester United box, and we launch into a counter-attack with second half substitute Javier Hernandez taking it round Zelalem in midfield and having a look up, seeing Hector Villalba run clear of the defence on the right hand side. No Kieran Gibbs in sight, as he was still up in the United box, and Villalba does incredibly well to get round Szczesny, but his strike is saved, or not round Szczesny, round Koscielny. His strike saved by Koscielny, and then Nick Powell backheels it to Wayne Rooney as we try and keep the move alive, but the captain's shot goes straight at the defender and is eventually cleared away. So full time, nothing could separate the two teams, and we come into extra time with the 95th minute as Nick Powell plays it to Wayne Rooney, who finds Hector Villalba. It goes back to Rooney, who sees Nick Powell in a decent enough position. Rooney operating as a central midfielder at this point, and Javier Hernandez picks the ball up. He feeds it into Timo Huppert, who comes down the right hand side as he takes on Laurent Koscielny and gets round him with a really good dribble and move, but sees his strike hit the post, but it's knocked into the back of the net by Hector Villalba. The striker has been misfiring so much as of late, but thankfully this time he found the back of the net and he gives us what could potentially be the winning goal. As Arsenal piled everything forward in the final moments of the first half of extra time, we were allowed to go forward on the counter attack with Villalba's strike going way over. I wanted him to finesse it with his right foot, because that's what any sane person would want, but for some reason he went with his left foot and it went miles over. Arsenal tried an attack though, with Rodrigo getting an overhead kick which went very very close, just narrowly missing, and still inside stoppage time they came forward again with Rodrigo, this time playing it into Oxlade-Chamberlain, who hit the shot on the turn but failed to hit the target. Then we come up to the 116th minute with Kieran Gibbs on the ball as he takes on Rafael Varane. He gets the back heel into Rodrigo, who takes it round Powell and finds I think it was Zelalem in the middle, or it was Debuchy, who plays a 1-2 with Gibbs, and Debuchy finds the back of the net with just 3 minutes to go and keeps Arsenal's chances of lifting the cup alive. Perhaps it was against a run of play, but Arsenal were piling everything forward and penalties were needed to separate both teams, and I was a little bit nervous. Rodrigo stepped up first for Arsenal with the left foot against David De Gea, his fellow countryman, but Rodrigo goes straight down the middle. He finds the back of the net. It was Andre Schürrle up next, and he makes decent enough connection with the ball, puts it straight into that top corner. I don't think the goalkeeper would have saved it had he even gone the right way. Up next is the Welshman Aaron Ramsey. He was linked with a move to United before he went to Arsenal. His strike goes to the right hand side just like Schürrle's did, and he levels the game. Up next was Wayne Rooney for us, who has a pretty good penalty on him, although he missed a few crucial ones this season, but thankfully he doesn't miss this one. And it's Alexis Sanchez up next, the Chilean international for Arsenal, who never starts for them for some reason, which is quite strange. His penalty rattles the frame of the goal and bounces back out before Javier Hernandez steps up to take his. He has a really good record with penalties, and Szczesny didn't even move. I find with penalty shootouts, like, all you do is just stay in the middle. Put every shot that you take to the right or the left and just leave the goalkeeper staying in the middle, and you tend to do well every single time. But Memphis Depay steps up next after Oxlade-Chamberlain scored his penalty. Memphis Depay making terrible contact with it because I prematurely pressed the circle button, prematurely circulated. And up next is Debuchy, the man who scored the equaliser in open play for Arsenal. He goes straight down the middle, and I actually, like, no one will believe me when I say this, but I told De Gea to stay in the middle and he didn't, and that happens to me so often when it comes to penalty shootouts, and I have no idea why. But up next was Jack Wilshere following Hector Villalba, who scored his penalty, and Wilshere's strike hits off the crossbar. So it was down to Nick Powell to win the game and eventually lift the FA Cup for Manchester United, but he fails to do so as Szczesny saves his penalty, and this tense shootout continues with Kieran Gibbs stepping up with his left foot, and he finds the back of the net. And I thought initially that it had hit off the post and bounced back out, but sadly it wasn't to be. Rafael up next, the fullback for us, the Brazilian right back, and he steps up. He makes decent enough contact with the ball, goes straight down the middle, and the goalkeeper didn't suspect that that would be the case. Up next is Zelalem, the young Arsenal midfielder, who looks absolutely drained. I'm surprised he even has the energy to run to the penalty. He goes straight down the middle. I stayed there with David De Gea, and now the weight of the FA Cup lies on the shoulders of Luke Shaw, the young fullback who hasn't progressed in a single stat all season, but he thankfully scores, and we win the FA Cup. And bizarrely, there is absolutely no celebration whatsoever for winning the FA Cup. This is all you get. So we come out of that crowned FA Cup champions as we look to which essentially that seals the double for us. Now we've won the league and we've won the FA Cup, and we go into our final game of the league season, which is against Liverpool, who are technically playing for Champions League football here. If Man City and Newcastle United were to both lose by, I don't know how many goals it would take for them, but if Liverpool were to get the win, it would be possible that even a 1-0 victory could see them finish 4th in the league and go for Champions League qualification next season. But their team is a strange one. Like, Lallana's obviously aged a lot at this point, Paulinho too, and Iago Aspas up front is such a strange choice. But the even stranger thing is that he's actually really good in this game. But we kick off the action inside the opening 10 minutes with Evans' header going over after a deflection from one of the Liverpool players. Memphis Depay puts the subsequent corner in, and Johnny Evans gets onto it to header it into the back of the net and put us 1-0 up. And he's been great from corners this season. I think that might be his 5th or 6th goal overall. But he's hit the bar a lot. He's set up a lot of goals from corners as well. And he's just overall actually been a really good player. I'm very happy that we didn't sell him to Barcelona that time. But Hector Villalba comes forward 6 minutes after we opened the scoring, and he plays the ball into Memphis Depay in the box, who finds the back of the net with such a basic shot that I can't believe Mignolet didn't save. It was one of those ones that it went in with such pace and power that I thought it was offside. Like, I thought it was one of those ones where the ref was going to call it back. But Liverpool retaliated, having gone 2-0 down, and they were pretty angry with Markovic's shot being saved by De Gea in goal and nothing coming from the rebound. We managed to hold on to it and come forward once more with Markovic on the ball on the right hand side of the pitch in the 26th minute as he plays it to Lallana, who finds Iago Aspas, whose strike goes into the side net. But Liverpool looking a little bit more menacing as time went on, and we come up to the 35th minute with Iago Aspas on the ball once more. He finds Markovic inside the box, who's tackled, but the ball comes straight to Lallana, who finds the back of the net and pulls a goal back for the visiting team as they continue on their quest to try and get top 4 finish. But it just didn't look likely. I mean, we were 2-0 up and kind of bossing the game, although Liverpool did completely flip that round, and they came forward just before half time with Iago Aspas striking the post with his left foot. Before we come into the second half of the game, just past the hour mark, with Paulinho on the ball for Liverpool. He plays it into Iago Aspas, who finds Lallana on the edge of the box. He plays it back into Aspas, and just past the hour mark, Liverpool actually managed to equalise and level the game up, making it 2-2, which definitely took me by surprise. But if there's one thing I knew at this point, it's that I have a really good record against Liverpool, and not only that, but I have a really good record for scoring 3 goals against Liverpool. I've done that so many times. I think I've beaten Liverpool 3-2 more than I've beaten any other team ever. And Memphis Depay steps up from this free kick in the final 10 minutes, and it goes so close to giving us that third goal, that elusive goal, but it wasn't to be. And then Liverpool came forward 3 minutes later angrily with Luis Alberto on the ball as he plays it into Jordan Henderson, who finds Paulinho. Adam Lallana in the box goes for the finesse shot, amazingly manages to miss. And then we came forward from the resulting goal kick with Wayne Rooney on the ball, going out towards the right hand side of the pitch, again just moved into that central midfield role, and Timo Huppertz picks the ball up as he takes on Moreno, manages to evade the slide tackle of him easily enough, and then approaches Lovren, but finds the back of the net with his left foot. And I don't know how many times Timo Huppertz has done that this season, but just those goals where he picks the ball up and he dribbles it around a few players and he hits it into the back of the net, they're so good. And I thought that would be the goal to win the game, but Liverpool continued going on the attack, which led us into a counter-attack with Paulo Dybala on the ball as he feeds it into Memphis Depay with so many options to pass to here, but he goes for goal himself, and it's saved by Mignolet and put out for a corner kick, which Timo Huppertz took short into Johnny Evans, who has a look up and sees a player free on the edge of the box. Memphis Depay, he plays it into Dybala, who looks for Villalba, and Villalba goes for the strike, but Dybala was brought down off the ball, and the referee awarded a penalty and gave us the opportunity to make it four goals past Liverpool in the one game, which would be, I don't know if we've done that before, but we've definitely completely handed it to them a few times. But Villalba steps up from the penalty spot. I don't think he's missed one ever, but sadly this time Mignolet does get the save, and it was a brilliant save. He's such a good keeper in the game. But it doesn't matter anyways. We win the game 3-2 thanks to that last minute Huppertz goal, which was a really, really good moment, and we lift the league title for the first time ever as Manchester United, but for the third consecutive time in English football, which is absolutely amazing. So I think next season we're only going to play a few months with Man United before moving on. I think that'd be the best thing to do. I want to get some game time out of James Rodriguez and Daniel Kister and stuff like that. But other than that, I'm gonna be, I don't know, I want another team that's gonna be some kind of a challenge, but at the same time I want Real Madrid and I want Barcelona. I want a big Spanish team. I think that would be really, really good. But regardless, as the confetti falls, we get this celebration, which we didn't get last season. We were robbed of our title celebration last season. I think we ended this season with a draw to Cardiff or something like that when we were with Leicester, and didn't get to actually lift the trophy, which is a real shame. I think maybe on FIFA, if you don't win, you don't get a celebration, because that would explain why I didn't get one on penalties either, because technically a penalty shootout win goes down as a draw in the record books, so maybe it's just something like that. But the league table, you see there, we won by 5 clear points, and here's a look at the top goal scorers. Amazingly, Hector Villalba not even in there, and the assists, Abeid has the most assists in the league, and he's up there in the goal scoring chart as well. David De Gea with 23 clean sheets overall, which is fantastic. But I think I'm going to sign Abeid for United. I maybe will offer Newcastle Herrera for him, because Herrera's worth a lot more, but Herrera's declining, and Abeid is just really, really good for an 82 rated player. He seems to play a lot better than that, and I'm just interested to see what I could do with him. James Wilson declined a contract offer from us, and he says he doesn't want to review any subsequent offers that the club may make, so sorry, but he's going to have to go. He's going to have to leave the club. But yeah, we end the episode with a squad report, the last squad report of the season, obviously. And I don't know when the next season will start. I don't know when I'm going to start uploading it. I think maybe the weekend or maybe Friday. I'm not too sure when it's going to be. But keep a lookout for it anyways. I just want to take a couple of days to myself to just get career mode out of my system, maybe play a bit of Ultimate Team, or do something like that, maybe experiment with some other game, because as much as I do really enjoy career mode, I love making the videos and everything about it. It's a really fun kind of creative process and everything, but I think I need a slight break from it because I'm just burned out. But yeah, other than that, Luke Shaw actually progressed with some stats for the season, which was pretty good, but not really enough to make me think that the game isn't broken in some way, which would be really good if EA were to fix that, but obviously it's EA, so they'll just release FIFA 16 press release will say that they've fixed all these problems and they're still gonna exist in it. But I'd love if career mode got revamped in some way, if it was a completely different interface every time and they worked on it in advance. I think that would be pretty decent. But Either way, we're going to end the episode here. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I hope you guys have enjoyed the series overall, and just thank you for all of the support since the inception of this entire series with Leicester City and everything like that on my channel. Like, the playlist for this series has an unbelievable amount of views on it. Like, just the playlist itself, I think, is on 180,000 or something like that, which is ridiculous. And just obviously every episode itself, there's so many likes and everything. It's just it's really, really good. So thank you guys very much. I really appreciate all of the support on my channel. That's the end of the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like. That would be amazing. I've been El Dinero. Thanks for watching.